Lance McCullers Jr. making his first home start of the 2018 season as he gets ready for a little interleague matchup. McCullers trying to keep this train rolling for the Astros. They are off to a 6-1 start to the season, having come off a sweep of the Baltimore Orioles. And tonight, after the off day, they kick off a 3-game set against the San Diego Padres, who have the opposite record of 1-6. Big and bright Friday night from Minute Maid Park. Big crowd on hand for this one. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Glad you could join us for another night of Astros baseball. And Blummer, so far so good after the first week. Hopefully the Astros can keep this thing rolling.
It's always good to get back home, and it's even better when you can start out a homestand 3-0.
And Lance McCullers back in there at home on the mound, and that's usually a good thing.
It is a good thing. He likes pitching here at home. We'll see a couple of the numbers a little bit later, but it was interesting to watch him go out there against Texas and do what he did with the breaking ball. He threw a ton of breaking balls, and I think that Todd and I were both curious. When we came out of spring, we saw a really good two-seam fastball and the occasional changeup. I was wondering if he would go out there and try and use it more, but it also depends on what team he's going out there to face. The Texas Rangers, they don't hit the spin very well. That's why we saw so many curveballs. That's also why we saw him go out there and get 10 punch-outs. It's spin to win for Lance McCullers tonight, also against the San Diego Padres. They are a young team. If they connect, the ball can go, but if they don't, they're going to be swinging a lot and missing at these breaking balls.
When he's at home, just like Dallas Keuchel, things usually go well.
Things go extremely well. He's obviously comfortable here in the confines of Minute Maid Park, and a lot of these guys we're finding out like playing in front of these fans here at Minute Maid.
So Lance on the mound tonight against the San Diego Padres. Luis Perdomo will be his opponent this evening. We come back, we will hear from Julia Morales as she catches up with Astros catcher Max Stassi.
Padres in town, and our HEB No Player Does More is going to be Max Stassi. Stassi joining me now, and you guys off to your best start really in the last 30 years for the Astros franchise. What's impressed you about this 6-1 start?
Actually, everything's impressed me. You know, the offense, the pitching, it's been pretty incredible, you know, and we're playing really well right now, and this is what we plan on continuing to do.
Good stuff. You've had a great start as well. We know you haven't caught McCullers in a game yet here in this regular season. You're very familiar with him, though. And him going today, what is it when you're behind the plate? What is it that you see from him knowing that he's going to have a good day? I mean, every time he takes the ball, he has a chance to do something really special. You know, he's got this competitive nature to him that, you know, you just can't teach. You know, Lance, the sky's the limit for him, and I know we feel very comfortable when he takes the ball. Thanks so much for the time, Matt. Thanks for having me. All right. Stay right there. Lance McCullers will be taking the mound when we get back facing these Padres. Astros looking to keep their good play going. We'll be right back.
By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Friday night, kicking off a weekend series against the San Diego Padres from Minute Maid Park. Astros sweeping the Baltimore Orioles, winning the last game on Wednesday afternoon by a run, 3-2, as Brad Peacock pitched the final 3 innings of that one. Tonight, interleague action for the first time in 2018. The San Diego Padres are in town, and they will face a tough customer. Everybody in their rotation is a tough customer. Tonight's turn goes to Lance McCullers Jr.
Our Best in Texas Power pitch is presented by Ford, talking about Lance McCullers and that curveball. It is a great curveball. It's that knuckle curve. He'll spike it with that index finger, putting a lot of pressure on that middle finger to pull down and create that sharp break. He has several. He can throw it for the get-me-over pitch, but right there you can see he also has that power slider down in the zone to create the swing and miss over the top. Proved to be quite effective in the playoffs. A pitch he relies on greatly, not only to get some punch-outs, but also to get some ground balls on occasion.
Lance making his second start of the season against the Texas Rangers. You can see what he did with 2 strikes against righties and lefties. He loves throwing that curveball to left-handers, 1-2, 2-2, full counts.
The amazing thing to me is this section right here that says no change-ups to a left-handed batter. Usually that's a pretty effective pitch for a right-hander to have a changeup going away from left-handed hitters, but not for Lance McCullers. He's bucking the system and throwing that changeup to right-handed hitters.
Making his 30th start of his career at Minute Maid Park to go along with 30 road starts in his career. And the numbers are vastly different.
They are, much like Dallas Keuchel, maybe learning how to pitch at Minute Maid Park to his benefit. Doesn't fear having those walls in left field and right field be a little bit more shallow than normal. Maybe the mound comforts him, but he does an extremely good job 2017 and 11 games, 10 of those were starts between regular and postseason. He went 5-0 and had 72 punch-outs.
Well, Lance is ready to go. Here's the lineup he will face today. Andy Green, the manager of the San Diego Padres, sends Manuel Margot out as the leadoff hitter. Jose Perella is in left field batting second. The newly acquired Eric Hosmer, he'll be around for 8 seasons. Christian Villanueva hit 3 home runs in a game earlier this week. He's the third baseman. Hunter Renfroe is in right field. Carlos Asuaje is the second baseman. Freddie Galvis switch hitting shortstop. Corey Spangenberg is the DH, and Austin Hedges behind the plate. 3 lefties and a switch hitter in that lineup for the San Diego Padres. Padres have not played here since 2012, and the first pitch on this night is a called strike from Lance McCullers. Lance has never faced the San Diego Padres in his career. And he quickly jumps ahead of Manuel Margot, 0-2.
One of his dad's old ball clubs. Good couple of pitches to start out this ball game. On our MD Anderson strike zone, you can see Lance painting the outside corner.
A lot of people think about the Yankees when they think about his dad, Lance McCullers. I always think about the Padres.
I do too. That gray uniform with the brown pinstripes and the orange lettering across the chest, absolutely.
On the ground, a couple of hops for Alex Bregman. And we are underway with a ground out to third. Starting defense is presented by Xfinity. And it's good to see Carlos Correa back in there. He and Alex Bregman are on the left side of the infield. Jose Altuve and Marwin Gonzalez on the right side. Another start for Derek Fisher in left field. George Springer is the center fielder. Josh Reddick is in right. And Brian McCann gets the start behind home plate. Jose Perella is the batter. Perella grounds one past Bregman, past Correa into left field. Perfectly placed ground ball, and he's a 1-out base runner. Wide turn, but he'll hold up.
With as many curveballs as Lance McCullers has the ability to throw, and I think he's going to try and do the same thing to these San Diego Padres, throwing a lot of curveballs, is their idea might be if they're aggressive early in the count on fastballs, go ahead and go for it. That time it paid off.
So the one guy a lot of the Astros have seen prior to tonight is the guy at the plate now, Eric Hosmer. Coming over from Kansas City in the offseason, signing an 8-year deal with the San Diego Padres. 28-year-old takes a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Of active players who have at least 100 at-bats against the Astros, Hosmer has the highest batting average. But it's not as high as you might think for a leader in that category. It's .348, which is just 2 points higher than Jose Altuve hit against the rest of the league last year.
Year by year, a royal pain is a very good way of putting it.
Astros did a little better job against him last year.
Hopefully they're starting to figure him out a little bit.
He's off to a 7-for-27 start for San Diego, hitting .259. Tries to hold up, and he does. It's 2-1.
Talked about the 8-year contract he signed with San Diego. I thought it was pretty interesting that he goes from a huge ballpark in Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City to another big ballpark in Petco Park down in San Diego. His last 3 years, 93 RBIs, 104 RBIs, 94 RBIs. Pretty good production.
Now Lance behind in the count, 3-1. Hosmer, the only member of the Padres lineup that Lance McCullers Jr. has faced. On the bench, A.J. Ellis and Chase Headley have matched up with Lance in the past. Swing at the high fastball. The count's 3-2.
See Eric Hosmer kind of putting his hands down by his side, telling him to calm down a little bit. 3-1 count. He was sitting on the heater, got it. Just got a little aggressive, expanding the zone. 3-2 count. What do you think's coming?
Against the lefty, Blummer last year 41 out of 44 times in a 3-2 count and threw the curveball. This time it bounces up there. Didn't even give it Hosmer a chance to offer it that. Runner Pirela was on the move.
Good take.
And that's the first walk issued by Lance McCullers. In his last outing, Lance walked just 1 and struck out 10. Saw the big difference in the home and road splits over Lance's career, now making his 30th start. The hits and walks divided by innings pitched. 117 at home, 146 on the road. Already in this inning, a hit and a walk. And now Christian Villanueva is the batter, and he takes a called strike. That's going to count as a visit.
Altuve.
Altuve went in to say something to Lance, and that is one of the 6 mound visits allowed.
Just thought of something. With all the sign issues that are created with the runner at second base and the inability to have as many mound visits as you want, I wonder if Brian McCann stepping out in front of home. That's not good.
Tried to pick him off and throws the ball into center field. Pirela to third, Hosmer to second. Lance threw a tailing fastball to Altuve that was wide of the bag.
Yeah, that looked very similar to some of the two-seamers we saw in spring training, huh? And I wonder if that was the conversation that Altuve had with him. Maybe try a pickoff play. It looks like he's trying to hold back a smile.
So now the infield back, second and third, 1 out. And a 1-1 count to Villanueva.
No, but what I was trying to get to before that errant pickoff is maybe there's a way for catchers to step out in front of home plate, give signs as kind of a deke on where they're throwing the ball, and have it actually say what signs they want to make the adjustment to.
Yeah, that's going to be part of the process this year, as pitchers and catchers have to be able to get on the same page without mound visits as much. Where that is a key to a different set of signs once runners reach second base. Different ways to accomplish that. Infield comes in now. You saw Alex Cintron waving the infield in with 2 outs and a 1 out and a 1-2 count. No chase there from Villanueva. It's 2-2.
Lance being ahead in this situation, he was able to throw. It wasn't necessarily a waste pitch, but he knew he could be a little more aggressive with that slider curveball in that situation. Now you might see a little bit better one, trying to get that punch out.
His ratio of curveballs with 2 strikes to lefties is higher than righties. Tries to get that sweeping curve going, and no chase from Christian Villanueva. Now the count's full. Big crowd trying to get this inning turned around for Lance McCullers. Base hit, a walk, an error. He got him. Big strikeout for McCullers. Second out of the inning.
That's the beauty of Lance McCullers. As long as there's pitches left in the AB, he always has that potential to punch you out. And a 3-2 count does not mean you're getting that heater by any means.
This is a young team. Mentioned only Hosmer in this lineup has seen McCullers before. They have not seen that turbo curveball from Lance McCullers live. As Renfroe has one get away with him at the plate, and coming in to score is Pirela. Jose Pirela scores the first run of the game on a pitch that got away.
Looked like a cross up to me. Brian, yeah, you can see Brian bounce a little bit. You saw the head come up as if he was anticipating curveball out of the hand, and when it didn't break and a guy's throwing low to mid 90s, it's tough to make the adjustment.
You are allowed a mound visit after a cross-up without accounting against your total. Pass ball is charged to Brian McCann to allow the run to score, and Hosmer moved over to third. Of the 19 pitches Lance has thrown so far, 6 fastballs and 13 curves. Team that hasn't seen him much.
It's 13 more than he threw getting warmed up.
On the ground, Bregman has it. Makes the play to get Hunter Renfroe for the final out of the inning. Unearned run for the Padres, and they lead it 1-0. George Springer will lead things off. Wicket for the Astros, followed by Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve. Lineup is presented by Southwest. George Springer at the top of the lineup, followed by Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve at 414, Carlos Correa at a league-high 474, Josh Reddick hits 5th, Marwin Gonzalez 6th, Evan Gattis is the DH, Brian McCann behind the plate hitting a smooth 417, and Derek Fisher is in left field. Luis Perdomo delivers to George Springer a fastball in the inside corner. One and one the count. Perdomo, 24 years old, on the mound for the Padres.
He's an interesting story. Rule 5 pick in 2015. He has not pitched above low A ball until he got to the show.
Springer hits a rocket, but Freddie Galvis, the shortstop, makes the play for the first out of the inning.
We'll see some of the numbers on Luis Perdomo. 29 starts last season, 8-11, high ERA at 4.67. That whip equally as high at 1.51. He has a very good ground ball percentage. 62%. His last start out, he only gave up 1 ground ball. How about that?
Wow. Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman takes a called strike.
Come at you with fastball, 92, 94 miles an hour. Saw the slider to George. It looks like that fastball runs a little bit, flattens out. Could be beneficial to some of these right-handed hitters.
His changeup's a split change, but he has been working on that through his career. It hasn't been a very effective pitch to this point. And last year he threw a curveball until about mid-May and kind of shelved that pitch. 1-1 to Bregman. There's the slider. And it's 2-1. His ground ball to fly ball ratio is almost the exact same as his opponent, Lance McCullers Jr. He's at 166, which was good for 3rd in the major leagues. Lance was 4th at 165. Those two trailing Dallas Keuchel, who has the highest ground ball to fly ball ratio, and Marcus Stroman is 2nd, or was 2nd last year. He's behind Bregman 3-1.
Let it eat.
That was a pitch on the corner, 3-2. Only one guy in the Astros lineup, just like the Padres versus Lance, has faced Perdomo, and that's Josh Reddick. There's that slider getting Bregman with a 3-2 pitch. Alex goes down swinging, and that's the first strikeout in the second out of the inning.
Pretty good pitch and a 3-2 count. Maybe taking a page out of Lance McCullers' book on this one. Nicely located outside corner.
Big ovation for Jose Altuve. Award ceremony night tonight, in addition to a big and bright Friday night. And Altuve picked up his American League MVP award.
He had to buy 2 houses, didn't he, in the offseason for all of his accolades and trophies and artwork. Yeah, that's Altuve's table. Everybody else is looking away because he's like, this is my stuff, guys.
Everything here is mine.
It's pretty impressive what he did last year. Deserved every bit of it, too.
Silver Slugger, MVP, AP Male Athlete of the Year, Sports Illustrated Person of the Year, along with J.J. Watt. 3-0 the count. Altuve in take mode is 3-1. Perdomo was claimed by the Colorado Rockies in the Rule 5 draft, and then the Padres purchased Perdomo from the Rockies. Now it's 3-2.
Sure if there's any purpose or if this is the game plan, but up and away seems to be the spot, huh?
All 4. Yeah, a little cluster of pitches up there, up and away against Altuve. Well, you mentioned last start without the ground balls for Perdomo. It's an unusual start overall because he struck out 7 in 4 innings. He's not really a strikeout guy.
Kind of makes you wonder early in this game, just watching that slider, maybe the slider was working for him that day.
Here is Carlos Correa. Correa carrying that American League best batting average of .474 to the plate. Had the day off on Wednesday. AJ had planned that out so he would have 2 off days to get that toe on his left foot healed. Been bothering him a little bit earlier in this homestand, but not bothering him too much. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, and a .474 batting average.
Good look at our StatCast lead on Altuve.
Correa takes a called strike. Last time Carlos started a game, he was tested with that toe right away. Hit a ball off the left center field wall that bounded away from Adam Jones, and Carlos ended up with an inside the park home run. If the Astros are going to steal any bases in this series, it'll be against the pitchers, because the catcher for San Diego, Austin Hedges, is an excellent defensive catcher. Somebody that A.J. Hinch knows pretty well.
A.J. Hinch was a part of the front office when Hedges was drafted. Took an interest in him. Bud Black was the manager at the time, and Bud Black actually had A.J. Hinch out in spring training helping Austin Hedges out.
Fans are really enjoying this. There's AJ.
It's all right. Just keep picking over and lose track of the strike zone. Hang something to that guy at home plate and see what he can do with it.
Because he's pretty good.
Yeah, he can be pretty good.
On the corner, a couple of tough pitches to Correa. It's 0-2.
Two-seam run. Good depth on that. Nipping the down and in edge.
Astros coming in 6-1, tied for the best record in all of baseball. The Padres coming in 1-6, tied for the worst record in all of baseball. Astros riding a 5-game winning streak. Padres playing their first road game of the season. They had a 1-6 homestand to kick off the year. Tuve has lengthened that lead a little bit with an 0-2 count. There he goes. The pitch is a swing and a miss and a strikeout. Now Tuve on the move, doesn't matter. Correa goes down swinging for the second strikeout of the inning.
North Texas April is your chance to show us your spirit, so tweet now and win big. Lance McCullers Jr. back to work, coming off that great start in Arlington. Was only hoping to go a little bit deeper, finish that 6th inning, but other than that, he was pleased with the way he threw the ball. Said got a little breaking ball heavy earlier in that one, but was happy that he could mix it up later in the game, bringing in that changeup. Blummer, you were talking about how he didn't throw it to any lefties. He did mention that, saying it was good against those righties, even out of the zone. He was getting different levels on it, so now hoping to add that in his attack against left-handed hitters. But command felt really good. He just doesn't want to get complacent. Wants to keep working on that as well. But even compared it back to last May when things were really going well for him.
Yeah, good for Lance. I mean, he loved the way he threw that fastball in particular last start. And he starts off this inning with a fastball to Carlos Asuaje, who grounds out to Carlos Correa in the ship. And there's one away. Well, he's gotten a little curveball heavy in this game too. Julie mentioned he felt like he got a little breaking ball heavy in that last game at the start as well.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting after giving up that hit to Jose Perella on the first pitch fastball. All of a sudden it was breaking ball, breaking ball.
It's amazing what runners in scoring position can do for you too, because he knows what a weapon that curveball is, and when in doubt, that is his default go-to. Worked out well in the ALCS.
No, absolutely. He's not afraid to throw that thing 24, 25 times in a row, is he?
Freddie Galvis, the batter, takes a fastball for a strike. It's 1-1.
And I'm sure Brian McCann, I mean, it's a lot to put it on Lance McCullers, but also Brian McCann, I'm sure, feels the same way too. Get those runners in scoring position like second and third, you want the punch out.
On the cross-up, McCann wanted another curveball.
There you go. Yeah, maybe Brian McCann's thinking about a little too much then.
2-1 to count to Galvis. Galvis came over to the Padres in the offseason in the trade from the Philadelphia Phillies. And Lance misses. It's 3-1. First inning run was a ground ball base hit, a walk, a throwing error by McCullers on a pickoff, and then a pass ball. This is the San Diego Padres team that was pretty much dead last in all offensive categories last year. French drama aware of that, although there are some new faces in this lineup, but they hit 234 as a team and scored just 604 runs, both 30th in baseball.
You can blame a lot of things on that big ballpark, but that's a low run total.
They did hit some home runs, surprisingly. They weren't 30th in home runs playing in Petco. Here's Corey Spangenberg. He's the DH tonight. Two and 0 the count.
A couple of these sliders are looking a little more east to west than north to south than we're accustomed to seeing from Lance McCullers.
Big crowd tonight. A lot of people lined up early this morning getting ready for the giveaway, which was the championship trophy replica. 2-1 the count. There are just a few seats up in the upper reaches in the corners of the upper deck. Other than that, it is filled.
That's where my kids are.
Out of the plate, 2-2. Both starters throwing 20 pitches in the first inning. Majority of those from Lance were curveballs. Two strikes, lefty hitter, usually the curveball. There it is, bounces in there. Now it's 3-2. The numbers are crazy. I was looking through those from last year, and they actually became more dramatic as the season went along. Against a left-hand hitter, 1-2 count, he throws the curveball 75.3% of the time. 2-2 count, 75.8% of the time. That was the count last pitch. And you set me up last time on a 3-2 count. 3-2 counts, 93.2% of the time.
That is amazing.
So right now there's a 93% chance he throws the curveball based on last year. There it is, swing and a miss. The throw by McCann. Out at second base, Galvis. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. As Lance McCullers Jr. picks up his second strikeout, and McCann throws a strike to second.
That is good to see. It's tough as a catcher, keeping your ground back there, not getting in the way of the swing, but a great catch and release on the tag.
Gold gear is available now in the Astros team store. This collection includes player jerseys, hats, t-shirts, and more. For team store hours and location, visit astros.com/team store. The players got their rings on Tuesday.
Yeah, Todd.
Ring ceremony day.
Isn't that awesome? What do you got there, buddy?
I got mine yesterday. Look at that. What? What
Still
happened?
waiting.
Seriously?
Yeah, we're in a holding pattern.
You want to borrow this? It probably won't fit you.
That thing would hold my car down.
Got mine, Blummer.
Yeah, you did. And it looks extremely good. You are dialed in and looking sharp.
Josh Reddick will lead off the second inning. Luis Perdomo.
You can get it out of my face. Yeah.
You look at it.
I'm looking at it.
You look at it. All right, we got to figure out what's going on with your. Seriously.
I know.
That's
I'm
not
trying
right.
to be
I mean,
patient.
no, we're
Trying to be
team.
patient.
We're team here.
I'm sensing a.
This is not right.
Yeah, I've got a rough history. I know that, but geez.
All right, we're gonna try and get to the bottom of this.
I feel like I'm in Shawshank, nurturing hope that there is hope.
You've got to get one. I mean, we're a team. It's just I don't know what's going on. Josh Reddick fouls one away. 1-2 the count.
That thing is pretty special.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It
It's even better on, right?
is really cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Does it impede your scoring
It
ability?
does. It does a little bit. I can't write quite as neatly with it on, but I will take that trade-off.
Yes. It's a good problem to have.
If my scorebook doesn't look quite as neat tonight, I will be okay with that. Josh Reddick followed by Marwin Gonzalez, Evan Gattis, facing the 24-year-old right-hander Luis Perdomo, third year with the Padres. And Reddick fouls one back. Stays 2-2. Josh has been rolling lately. Hey, there's the ring up close from different angles.
They did such a good job. The detail is what amazed me about this ring. Then the thought that went into it. Got the World Series championship trophy coming right out of Minute Maid Park on the side of it.
Yeah, on the back side, underside of the ring finger, it says earned history. On the inside, the interior of the ring, it has the series scores and the opponent. It would really look cool if you get one. Into right field for a base hit for Reddick, and his roll continues. Josh takes the turn and holds up. He's now 7 for his last 10. And the one guy that's faced Luis Perdomo is now 5 for 6 in his career against his Padres right-hander.
And this is an extremely good AB. Fouled off some tough pitches, laid off some tough pitches. We actually saw that split change that Todd was talking about from Perdomo throughout this AB. That got himself that 3-2 fastball and did not miss one bit of it. 104.2 miles an hour off the bat.
Woo! That works. See if the Astros can get something rolling here. Marwin Gonzalez, the batter. Marwin takes a called strike.
Apparently there's a lot of fans on Twitter still waiting for their rings too.
So they said you're not alone.
Yeah. That was pretty clever.
Reddick likes this interleague baseball thing. That's 15 straight games that he's hit in a row in an interleague game. Best current streak going. 1-1 the count.
Nice string of pictures of you and your ring on my Twitter feed. Appreciate that. You got real popular all of a sudden.
Because of the ring?
Yeah. The hardware. Turn heads.
It does gain people's attentions for sure. Chopped slowly towards the left side. Galvis will flip for one. The turn not in time. Marwin beats the relay.
Oh, I appreciate you, Hector.
Blummer, my mom's even worried. She just texted me.
Oh, no. Cannot worry, Mrs. Morales.
Uh-oh.
How about you, Julia?
Yeah, what happened?
You can't see it from down here?
It's lighting
Or
up
up
that.
there, I should say.
So you too.
You got yours?
Everybody's got one.
Yep.
Man, oh man. All right. Just get an extra bucket of salt and pour it right in that wound.
Julia's mom's not going to be able to enjoy this game as much now.
I'm just glad she's looking. Barely notice it.
No? What?
What?
What? Sorry.
Man,
I'm sorry.
that's it. I'll be right back. I got to go find somebody.
Nicely played, Julia.
That was.
Little foul ball back off the bat of Evan Gattis. Well, the replica's tomorrow.
So I'm going to have to wait in line at 8 a.m. in the morning to get it?
No earlier than 8. Brianna Hughes made sure to tell the fans. Gattis with a 1-1 count. Inside, it's 2-1.
I'll tell you what, Jim Crane would have showed me something if he would have put a grasshopper on the side of Julia's ring.
That would have been awesome. That was the turning point of the season.
It really was.
Instead of a number, like a player's number, I have a grasshopper.
That would have been spectacular.
It's beautiful under these lights.
These LEDs are making it super shiny.
See, I thought I was an instigator. Julia's right there.
And played it up nicely, by the way. Just the casual flip of the hair, just in case.
Gattis with a count of 2-2. Runner on 1 out. Astros facing Luis Perdomo for the first time. And he misses the outside corner. It's 3-2. New team, new pitcher. A lot of guys talking to each other in the dugout this first time through.
Sorry?
New team, new pitcher. A lot of guys talking in the dugout about, hey, what does this guy look like? What's the slider look like?
Absolutely. There are plenty of conversations. We've even seen the Astros have conversations on the way back to the dugout to guys coming up to the plate. But it's all about movement, release point, maybe situations. Because every guy sees a pitcher differently. And maybe somebody picks up on something out of the stretch that he might be tipping, might not.
He keeps the ball generally down in the zone. We saw him up against Altuve, but that time he missed on the 3-2 pitch low to Gattis. So the Astros with 2 runners aboard and Brian McCann the batter. McCann off to a 5 for 12 start. That's good for a 417 batting average. Takes a called strike. McCann last started a game on Tuesday night, had the day off Wednesday when Max Stassi caught. And yesterday was a scheduled day off for everybody.
Notice anything different about
Brian? Yeah, I was going to say.
He's now a speedster.
Where's the beard?
So he went a little more aerodynamic and got rid of the beard.
Now here's my question.
Bring it.
Did he regrow it that quickly?
That was the off day. It grew back.
That's what I'm saying. Did he shave it and it just came back, or he just cut it down?
I'm not sure.
That would be impressive if that's a one-day growth.
I'd be impressed if he took his helmet off and his beard was on his head. Little replacement therapy.
Down to the count 1-2. Derek Fisher is on deck. Kind of a emergency swing, stays alive at 1-2. Infield can't be as deep as they normally are with McCann with runners on.
Yep, and that's something Brian McCann has seen a lot in the last couple of years. The analytics showing that a shift works against him. Thanks to StatCast, we can put some names with those shifters.
Into center field. Margot has it lined up. Puts it away for out number 2. Last start for Luis Perdomo. He lasted just 4 innings in that start against the Brewers. About 7 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 4, struck out 7. Now he'll face Derek Fisher with 2 on and 2 outs. Fisher, a couple of RBI triples on the season, has 3 runs batted in overall. He takes a strike. Mentioned the Astros played Wednesday afternoon to wrap up that series against Baltimore. San Diego had a home game that night and then a day game to wrap up their series against Colorado. So they played 2 games since the Astros last played. And in those 2 games, they had to use their bullpen for 8 innings of work combined. So the way Brad Peacock saved the bullpen the other day, it's an advantage Astros in terms of a rested bullpen going into the series.
Isn't that the truth? Such a luxury to have a guy like Brad hanging around that bullpen and being able to go a couple extra innings. And AJ even said that he didn't plan on using him that deep, but he saw the way the slider was breaking and how effective it was against the Baltimore Orioles and just said, go with it.
0-2 pitch, called 3rd strike. Fastball freezes Fisher for the strikeout. 2 men left on base. Single and a walk, and the rings are out. At least for most of us.
I'm going to go get some tissues.
Astros, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications. What brings you to the booth?
I wanted to show you my ring.
Oh no, you're piling on, Blummer?
Seriously.
Yes, look.
Look at our
I'm
ring.
looking at it. Yes,
Yeah.
I am. And they look fantastic on you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's got my name on it. Did you like it? So actually what I'm really here to do is to give Blummer his ring.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was watching the broadcast and I felt like I was feeling sorry for you.
I know. I appreciate you feeling sorry for me.
Julie and I
Todd
didn't
did a
help.
good job of rubbing it right in my face.
Seriously?
And I can't be more grateful
Oh,
than
my.
to see the show ring. This is amazing.
Wow.
I'm sure if everybody at home can see the actual case.
Lights up.
It lights up.
That's legit. I got to get it. Yeah, that's amazing.
That is.
Yeah. Well, listen, we could not have made it through last year without the both of you.
Oh.
And really our partners at AT&T, Julia, the entire crew, we just wanted to say thank you.
No,
and
we
Jeff,
thank you.
we wanted you to have your ring. You can put aside and retire that 2005 White Sox one. I think you got a better replacement.
This one's looking pretty good.
It's looking pretty good.
It's looking real
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put it on.
Well,
thank you
listen,
so much.
you need to put it on. You need to put it on.
So wait, that we can look at it.
Yeah. So we can.
Yeah. Here we
Look
go.
at that. Look at that.
There we are.
Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Congratulations. Thank you guys
No,
both
thank
for
you
all
so
you
much.
do.
Awesome.
We
Yeah,
appreciate all
Thank
the
you
kind
what you do for our
words.
fans. It's great.
So amazing.
You guys
Yeah.
have been great to us too. Really appreciate the opportunity and thank you so much.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the
This
game.
is beautiful.
Turned out great.
So
Yes, it
nice.
did.
Yeah.
Anita, thanks for
Fantastic.
saving the day.
Seriously.
Thanks for letting me pop by.
Thank you.
Anita Sagal joining us in the broadcast booth tonight. Thank you for that. Blummer, you're in.
I can breathe now.
Wow, a lot of fans on social media were.
There was severe concern. And
That
I
is
appreciate
cool.
the concern. This thing is amazing.
That is awesome.
All right.
You're good now.
I am good. I am now part of the team.
Lance McCullers issues a walk to start the third inning. Now back to the top of the order for Manuel Margot.
Well played, TK. Well played. You got me.
That was good stuff.
And I appreciate everybody on Twitter sticking up for me.
As they should. Now you're going to get challenged with the righty.
I am. Looking forward to it.
Ground ball right side. Altuve was shifted. He'll only have the one play to first. On the play, Hedges moves over to second base. Austin Hedges walking on a full count pitch. Now moving into scoring position.
That's right.
There you go.
And there we go. I'm in. Woo! We did it. Twitterverse stepped up and they got it done.
So we're all good now.
We are. Happy camper. Looking good, feeling good.
Jose Pirela, the batter. He takes a called strike. I was just happy I pronounced her name correctly for the first time. Our boss.
I know.
I've been calling her Anita Siegel or Siegel this whole time. It's Sagel. Who knew? I didn't.
I didn't. Something we should know.
That's something I was going to say. Glad I finally got that one right after a year plus. 1-1 the count. Anita's great. She was part of the ceremony. You had a lot of family stuff going on yesterday, and you were not able to be there, but they had a little ceremony for all the employees, and Jim Crane was more than generous in issuing rings to everybody that works for the team.
No, it was remarkable how well he handled the whole situation and what this organization did. Because that ceremony I heard was pretty incredible. Family and everybody invited. Jim Crane literally rattling off every name of anybody who got a ring that showed up yesterday.
And they had a big stage set up right around second base as you got announced up. The head of your department, in our case Anita, was there first, and then it was Jim Crane and Jeff Luno and Reed Ryan and up on the big board. It was a really, really cool ceremony on the off deck. So thank you to all those involved, and thank you to Jim Crane for the incredible generosity, giving us a piece of history that we'll be cherishing forever. I know Lance tweeted out about the ring that first night that they got theirs. He was pretty fired up.
The box lights up, for crying out loud. Are you serious?
Well, now I'm gonna be left out because my box doesn't light up.
What?
My ring box does not light up. I'm looking at that. You look at it.
Look at it.
I saw that and I was like, well, that's cool. That doesn't happen to mine.
This thing is a beast.
1-2 the count. So now I'm left out. We need another presentation.
She'll just come back with a battery. I need to say, here you go.
I need a battery so that box will light up. 2-2 the count to Pirela.
Did you do this?
I did not try to clap on, clap off. Maybe I need to do that. Fouled back in just to our right.
I was going to be able to make a catch with my new ring on.
Almost into the Padres booth. Always good to see that crew. Mark Grant, the color analyst, said he hasn't been back here in 6 years.
You know, Mark Grant was hoping that hit Dan Orsillo.
Yeah, those guys, they have a good time on the broadcast. Lance throwing a lot of pitches in this game. He's up to 46. One out in the third. He gets a strikeout there. Getting Pirela to chase that power curve. That is the third strikeout for Lance in the second out of the inning.
Good look of that curveball in our Mattress Firm Supermo little mini segment as we check it out in the postseason. It was extremely good. That was a little more 12-6 in the previous. This is that sweeper down and in. Continually got Bellinger, some of those tough left-handed hitters of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Hosmer tries to hold up. He goes around. It's 0-1. Only hit that Lance has allowed tonight was that ground ball that found its way between Pregame and Correa on the left side of the infield. That was the second batter of the game, Jose Perella. He has walked 3, he has McCullers, including Eric Hosmer the first time up. One and 1 the count.
See how careful Lance is with the base open. Right-handed hitter on deck. Right after him.
1 and 2. Mentioned a big crowd. Gonna make a little noise here to try and help Lance get through the third. On the ground. Fielded there by Marwin. He will make the flip to Lance, and that'll do it. 1 man left on base.
Astros reaction from the 2017 playoffs was how to have Alex Bregman in there. Game 4, the scream. That's a Springer in the World Series reacting to home run by Altuve. And then, of course, Carlos Correa, who said he blacked out as Alex Bregman drove Derek Fisher in Game 5 of the World Series. So those are 3. You can always write in another option. You've got to tweet us at ATT Sportsnet SW. We're probably going to have this question again tomorrow. There are so many great reacts from the playoffs last year. So write in your favorites. Maybe we can find them and do more tomorrow. TK.
All right, Julia. George Springer will lead things off against the Padres. Luis Perdomo takes a strike. 3rd inning baseball. Astros trailing 1-0. George down to the count 0-2.
And this is the interesting part of the game of baseball when you face these starters. First time through the order, a little bit of the surprise went Perdomo's way. Now you've got a chance to see what kind of adjustments the Astros are going to make to Perdomo.
George just reaches out and rolls one into the outfield. He was down to the count 0-2, and he picked a perfect place to roll that ball through, and a big smile on his face.
Just to get in the head of some of these hitters, and it might have been a situation where you can almost see he almost got too far out. He was expecting the nasty 0-2 slider out off the plate. He was leaning that way. Stayed on the plate a little bit more than he thought.
Picked a good spot, rolled one through the infield. Just the second hit of the night for the Astros. And now here's Alex Bregman. Takes a strike. A.J. Rayburn calling balls and strikes tonight. Part of Sam Holbrook's crew. He's over at first base, the crew chief. Snap throws. Springer has to hustle back. 1-1 the count.
Pretty good catch and throw by Hedges, trying to catch Springer sleeping over there. But as well as A.J. Hinch knows, Austin Hedges, I'm sure he probably gave these guys a pretty good heads up and said there might be a little extra special fine if you get picked off or thrown out by Austin Hedges.
A.J. doesn't want his tutorial to end up coming back to haunt him. There is Hedges, quickest pop time in all of baseball. So he learned well from A.J.
And a pretty strong arm to go with it, too.
Tied up Alex, who fouls it off. It's 1-2. Remember, had his ring for a half an inning.
I know, right?
Now it's being toured around the stadium, including the Padres TV booth.
May never get it back. I know where to find Mark Grant, though.
This is your series, Blubber. This is.
Well, you know what's interesting, and I know where you're going. I'll let you go where you're going, but the cosmic baseball world is unbelievable to me, because after 2005, I signed back with San Diego. That's Bruce Bochy gave me my ring as a Padre.
Wow.
In 2006, and here I am in 2018 getting another World Series ring against the Padres. The dynamic is weird.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, the Padres and the Astros are the two teams where you had two different stays with, and that's impressive to go away from a team and have them bring you back, and that happened with both these franchises.
Smoke and mirrors.
That's pretty good. Bregman taking a strike. All right, strikeout number 4 for Perdomo, and here's Jose Altuve.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to play 3 years with the San Diego Padres and come back. Loved being there, obviously a California kid. And then to have 5 years of my career here as a Houston Astro. So, you know, at least 8 of my 14 years were in 2 extremely good cities and extremely good organizations.
And the years you were in San Diego?
Oh, man.
Oh,
I was talking.
Petco Park was open the whole time.
Yeah, I was talking to Ted Leitner about this earlier with Bill Brown. We were in the hallway, and the last division championship the Padres had was 2006. I was on that team.
There you go.
Doug Brocail, another ex-Padre or ex-Astro, was on that team. But we had a good run there in 05, 06, 07 with San Diego.
It's not going to happen this year. Obviously, the Padres are visiting the Astros, but when interleague rolls around again in 3 years and the NL West is the opponent, if the games are in San Diego, that is a great destination for fans.
Absolutely.
Not just city, but that stadium.
The vicinity of the city, the hotels, the gas lamp district down there, there is never a dull moment when you're going to a game in San Diego. The only ticket in town, by the way.
Yep.
San Diego Chargers, now the Los Angeles Chargers. So
that's right.
San Diego Padres are carrying the professional sports torch.
A lot of tosses to first with Springer leading off first and a 0-1 count to Altuve. Into right field, falling quickly, and that's going to drop in for a hit. Springer read it the whole way, and he is into third base. First and third, Astros with 1 out.
I'm not sure if that throw was offline, but I'm a little shocked that Freddie Galvis cut that ball off, because there was pretty good steam behind that throw from Renfroe and right.
What a read by George.
That was great. He realized it was softly hit off the end of the bat out of Altuve. You can see again, lower half going one way, barrel going towards the baseball, and he always finds a way to manage to get hits. And George had his head down from the get-go. He knew Renfroe wasn't going to catch this, and he tested that arm.
The 2 hits in this inning off the Astros bats. Exit velocity of 82.7 for George and 72.4 for Altuve.
And that was a great replay by the guys in the truck above third base. So that throw was offline. That's why Freddie Galvis cut that thing off.
Now an RBI opportunity for the team RBI leader, Carlos Correa. Takes a strike. Astros have been patient looking at first pitches from Perdomo tonight.
Good grief, strike one if you're working with a zone like that. Wow.
Now Correa down to the count 0-2. The first 12 hitters tonight have all taken the first pitch against Perdomo.
Trying to get a good look at what he's bringing out there, maybe pick up on a tendency. If you haven't faced a guy before, you'd want to look and see what he has done against right-handed hitters. If you're a right-handed hitter, if you're left-handed, you want to see what he's done to left-handed hitters. But sometimes that first time through the lineup, start taking some pitches.
Correa in an 0-2 count hits one deep enough to center field. Margot camps under it, and Springer will run home with the first Astros run of the game. We're tied at 1 on the sac fly.
Another reason not to punch out with a guy at third base. Get that RBI, get your team back in it. That was a phenomenal AB, not letting some of the bad calls get to him. Tough pitch. And by the way, it's not even a full swing. He hit it 87.2 miles an hour off the bat, but that ball had some life to it.
Perdomo obviously going for the strikeout, trying to bounce one in there. Correa went out and hit it in the center field.
But that's 2 sliders in this inning with 2 strikes that caught a little too much of the plate for me, or a little too close to the hitter to enable him to either put the ball in play for a hit like George Springer did, or put it out there in center field in the air like Carlos Correa did.
Want to know the count to Josh Reddick. Game tied at 1. Correa now with 9 runs batted in. That's tied for the league lead with Didi Gregorius and Justin Smoke.
Carlos Correa's check swing, by the way, in case you're wondering if he's a full-grown man at the age of 23, 332 feet. Check swing.
On a ball at his ankles. Reddick has owned Perdomo, and he's on quite a tear right now. Josh has 7 hits in his last 10 at-bats, and he is 5 for 6 in his career against Perdomo. The only time he made an out against this starter was a line drive. Astros have Perdomo up to 60 pitches in this game in the 3rd inning. Lance has thrown 51 through 3. 3-0.
Talked about the numbers Josh has against Perdomo. It's really apparent that he sees the ball very good out of the hand of Luis Perdomo. That last pitch, it looked like he took it maybe 7 inches out of his hand.
And we had Jeff Bagwell in the booth the other day on Tuesday night. He mentioned Josh Reddick's ability to go first to third, how that created a run. Here Reddick draws a walk. In this inning, it was George Springer's ability to go first and third that helped create that run. Guarantee all the 2018 tickets you want with a full or partial season plan. Season ticket plans let you enjoy the best seats at Minute Maid Park, save money, and receive great benefits all year long. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/season tickets for more info and to get your seats today. A meeting at the mound for the Padres. Well, the pitching coach pretty well, don't you?
Yeah, Darren Ball's a good guy. He's got a mild to severe case of OCD.
That's the scouting report.
Yes.
Here's Marwin Gonzalez.
Keep an eye on him. He touched Perdomo before he left the mound, and that's one of his things. He's got to touch him before he leaves you.
He almost walked by you today.
He did. He didn't recognize me. Thought I looked older than I was, I think. Then he remembered. Or it could be the lack of hair color.
For TV purposes only, right?
Yes.
Want to know the count to Marwin. 5 straight out of the zone for Perdomo. That is now 6 straight pitches that have missed the strike zone. And again, this is the point in the game where if you're the Padres, you'd love like an extra mound visit or two to kind of settle him down, because right now he can't find the zone. Marwin's going to try and zero in on a pitch middle.
I have serious concern if I'm a Padre fan right now and Marwin Gonzalez gets a heater.
Slider.
Yeah. Now there might be a pretty good book on Marwin after last season. He's always been a very good fastball hitter.
Marwin reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. That time he got the fastball, but it was well placed. 2-2.
Yeah, he's going to take a little bit of a walk around the circle there, gather himself, regroup. Because it's a little bit of pitching backwards.
Two runners on in this tie game, Astros and the Padres. Inside, now the count's full, and with 2 outs, that means Altuve off second and Reddick off first with a head start.
So the only sign last sequence from the catcher Austin Hedges, it was first sign was the fastball in. Take a look, and when Austin Hedges gives some signs, it's just keep an eye on the first sign he gives. I'm not sure if he's mixing it up with the touches to tell the pitcher when it is, but it was first sign last time.
On the ground, couple of big hops to the second baseman Aswahe, and he makes the play to get Marwin for the final out. We're through 3, tied at 1.
By downloading the new AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit attsportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackout and territorial restrictions apply. Some beautiful paintings handed out today. Some awards as well for Jose Altuve for AL MVP, George Springer for World Series MVP, and then Justin Verlander for ALCS MVP. So many MVPs there. But Opie Otterstedt, you recognize the hat and the jacket. Opie, well known for all of his paintings that he does across Major League Baseball, but an Astros fan and has some great work around here at the ballpark. Presented those for these guys to go along with their hardware, and pretty impressive stuff. He said, you know, picking the right shot for him to paint is a part of the process, right? And for him, he wanted to include teammates in there, and you can see in the World Series, there's even some shadows of some former World Series MVPs that he added. He said the confetti on the Justin Verlander painting was his favorite, but it's just really cool stuff that these guys can add to their collection of things that they're getting for last year's postseason.
Yeah, quite a ceremony down there with those beautiful paintings and all the hardware that was given out as Lance McCullers Jr. strikes out Christian Villanueva. The shadows of past MVPs in the World Series.
I've got a couple of Opie's artwork, and they are truly incredible. And that's one of the things that Opie Otterstad does so well is he really wants to capture the moment that he's painting extremely well, but he also wants to recognize the history of the game. And that's part of the special feature that Opie kind of throws in there.
I think I know what Julia's favorite moment in the pregame ceremonies was, because she tweeted about it.
Oh, really?
You said that
You
Jose
follow her?
Altuve needs a second house or a second den for all his awards.
It's insane.
What was your favorite moment, Julia?
So he was trying to hold as many awards as he could. And then, you know, it was only 2, and he was awkwardly holding those and trying to smile for the picture. And then there were 3 more things on the table that belonged to him. It was just MVP problems, right?
Yes.
Was it adorable?
It was.
Bat goes flying into the screen on this pop-up with a broken bat. Hunter Renfroe goes down. Thank goodness the netting was there. That would have ended up in the crowd. That bat was shattered.
I'll tell you what, Suaje on deck was wishing he was behind that net. Right over his head.
After Lance walked Austin Hedges to start the 3rd inning.
Here, hold this.
No, this too.
No, hold that too.
The smile's the best. It's like, okay, now I have to smile.
Oh, man.
He is the best.
He can't do anything wrong. That is awesome.
That's like a kid when you go say cheese. Cheese. Oh, so good. Good stuff. 1-0 to Suaje. He's going to have a little base hit into left field. That's just the second hit allowed by McCullers. Hit that ground ball base hit go through in the 1st inning, and now broken bat off the end of the bat by Suaje. And he is a 2-out base runner. I was going to say Lance got to the 9th spot in the order, walked his 3rd batter of the game to go along with a single. And then after that, he had retired 5 in a row before Suaje's base hit. Now with 2 outs, Lance faces Freddie Galvis. Takes a strike. Galvis played 162 games last year, one of 5 major leaguers to play the whole schedule. His teammate Eric Hosmer did the same with the Royals. It's away, it's 1-1.
So some of those kids in the farm system are understanding that even if you get called up, you may not get into the lineup with these guys. Man.
Last 3 years, Galvis played 151, 158, and 162 games. He likes being in there every day. 1-2 the count. I think the off days will help if a guy wants to try and play 162 this year.
Yep.
Extra off days, but it's not something you see as much now as you did 5-10 years ago, or 10 or 20 years ago for that matter.
Yeah, the second they started testing for amphetamines, I knew it was over.
Bounces in there, runner on the go. McCann's throw is in time, waiting, no! Safe at second is Suaje. Looked like the tag was waiting for him, and Suaje somehow got in there.
Correa was a little in front of the bag, and I'm not sure if he got all the way back there to tag Suaje, because that was a great throw by Brian McCann. This is not on Brian McCann. Throw in front, kind of regrouped to catch, to make sure he secured it. A little bit of a bobble, re-grabs it there, safe.
Well, not go as a steal. That pitch got away a little bit. That'll be a wild pitch. Now it's 2-2 on Galvis. We'd like to see an out made there for sure. The Astros defensively allowing an unearned run in this game. And a strikeout for McCullers doesn't matter. Galvis goes down swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 5 in the game so far for Lance.
Buddies membership presented by BBVA Compass are now available for kids 12 and under. Buddies receive 4 tickets to an Astros regular season game, a backpack, cap, socks, and exclusive benefits throughout the year for only $25. Visit astros.com/buddies to sign up today. I heard that Buddies memberships are on the rise.
Good. Should be. Everything's bigger and brighter this year.
Absolutely.
On our first big and bright Friday night. Evan Gattis leads off, facing Luis Perdomo. Takes a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. This is the 24-year-old Luis Perdomo. He is the second Luis Perdomo who has pitched for the San Diego Padres. His uncle Luis Perdomo also pitched for San Diego a couple years before he went to Minnesota. One and one to count to Evan. It'll be Gattis, Brian McCann, and Derek Fisher as Evan fouls one back to the screen. It's 1-2. Astros are tied at 1 apiece, but in terms of pitch count, that's where they have the lead. Lance McCullers Jr. has thrown 64 pitches through 4. And Perdomo has needed 4 more pitches than that, 68 through 3. Up the middle, Evan bids for a hit. The flip by Asuaje. He knew he had no chance to make the throw himself and tried to use the arm of Freddie Galvis, but that didn't work out so well.
Good job by Evan, just pounding the ground up the middle, force him to make a play. They were playing Gattis pretty much straight up.
Infield hit for Evan. He's been on base twice, and now Brian McCann will bat.
Speed of Gattis forcing Asuaje to get creative, and it didn't work.
They saw the triples.
They did.
Down and into Brian. It's 1-0.
Did you see who led? I think it was who led the American League last year in triples. It was towards the top.
Well, the obvious guess for me would be Buxton, but that's not obviously. That's obviously
You're in the right division.
Oh goodness. Go ahead.
Castellanos.
And Castellanos. All right.
In Detroit, third baseman by trade. Interesting.
Yeah.
Ballpark.
Yeah.
Explains
that
a lot
helps.
of that.
That helps. Well, how many would you guess? And I don't know the answer, so whatever you say is going to be right in my mind. But how many of the 11 for Gattis that year were towels Hill induced or helped out?
I'd say maybe 2, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, you got a couple on the road. You got some funky ones. There was one in, I want to say Oakland, where he just absolutely obliterated a pitch up around his eyebrows and ran for days.
When he gets the first one I see live, it won't quite be the same level of excitement as you getting your ring, but it'll be pretty close. 3-2 now to Brian McCann. Because I've heard about it. It's like you hear the myth. But I want to see it live.
Yeah, you got to witness it. We witnessed it. We still were in shock every time he ended up on third.
And the fact that he doesn't have one now in 2+ seasons since.
Yeah, exactly.
See the shift on for Brian McCann. No one has had more hits taken away since 2010 with the shift than McCann.
Taking some better swings, this AB.
Perdomo is approaching 80 pitches. When we mentioned Padres bullpen's been used up a little bit the last 48 hours. 8 innings worth in the last 2 games while the Astros were kind of relaxing at home after the day game Wednesday. Ball's driven to right field, pretty well hit, but back there is Renfroe who makes the play. All these soft hit base hits for the Astros, that was probably one of their highest exit velocities of the night. McCann has nothing to show for it. That's out number 1. Bring up Derek Fisher. Fisher struck out his first time. Chasing that breaking ball. It's 0-1. Perdomo has struck out 3 in this game. On the ground towards second. A Suaje to Galvis for 1. Fisher's speed is going to beat the turn. But Derek will be on first base with 2 outs on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, it's going to take a perfect turn to get Derek Fisher flying down that first baseline. Really looked like Suaje was more concerned about making sure he got that first out. It was a smart thing to do because you can't turn that double play unless you get that first out. Fish can move.
Now Springer, who is lined to short, and singled and scored. Fisher stole a big base in that game on Wednesday. Kind of slipped on his way back to the bag there. Fisher's going to do a little work around first base. But Derek's stolen base helped set up that RBI for Alex Bregman in the 3-2 victory against the Orioles to sweep that series.
You know what Eric Hosmer just said to Derek Fisher? You're messing up my territory. It's a pretty healthy lead.
This time he gets back okay. Perdomo has shown he's not shy about throwing over to first. He has made sure to pay attention whenever there's been speed on the bases. Called strike 1-1. Two and 1 the count.
Kind of waiting for something to happen, huh? Need a big hit.
Astros have threatened a runner in the first, a couple of runners aboard in the second, 3 reach base in the third, 1 scoring Springer. Now George with a count in his favor, 2-1. Swing and a foul. It's 2-2. George hit a home run as the first batter of the season for the Astros. Coming against the Rangers on March 29th.
Like where your head's at.
It's been a little while.
It has.
There goes Fisher. Chopped towards short. Galvis only has the play to first, and he makes it in time to get Springer for the final out. Infield hit, 1 man left on base. We're through 4, tied at 1. When it's time to decorate, Rooms to Go makes it easy. Great looking furniture at great low prices. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Low scoring contest tonight. Padres and Astros tied at 1 as we head to the 5th inning. The highest scoring team in baseball from 2017, the Astros, taking on the lowest scoring team in baseball in 2017, the Padres. They have made some changes that should enhance their offense this year as Corey Spangenberg swings through that first delivery. It's 0-1. Padres are missing Will Myers in this series. He's one of their keys offensively. Well, currently on the disabled list. Spangenberg takes a strike and lands quickly ahead 0-2.
Lance could definitely use an efficient inning.
He got him on 3 pitches. Power curve for strikeout number 6.
Curveball is nasty. If you're an Astros fan, you've seen it, you better get used to it. If they're on the opposing side, that's the last thing you want to see is that spin coming out of the hand of Lance McCullers, because he usually ends up being that swing and miss.
Curveball used 38 times through the first 4 innings of 64 pitches. Austin Hedges, the batter. He walked his first time up. Lance ahead 0-2.
Last couple innings getting much better command of that curveball. First couple innings, zone was expanded, unable to locate it.
That ball's hit to left on the line. Fisher can't quite get there. Off the wall on 1 bounce. Hedges heading to second, and Fisher's throw will not be in time. A 1-out double for the opposing catcher, Austin Hedges. It's the second hit of the season for Hedges. He's now 2 for 19.
It's another two-strike curveball catching a lot of the plate, just out of the reach of Derek Fisher. If he was slower, he might have thought about diving, but he was too fast to kind of put him in between spots. He didn't know what to do. It's a tough play. Looked like he got a pretty good jump off the bat.
Back to the top of the order, Manuel Margot, the batter. A couple of ground outs for Margot tonight. 1 to third, 1 to second. Fouls off the curveballs, 0-1. Three hits for the Padres. Astros have 4. Lance's run allowed in the first inning was an unearned run. He allowed runners to advance on his own error, and then they advanced again on a pass ball. Astros have allowed an unearned run in each of the last 3 games. That's something that AJ would like to see shored up a little bit. Foul at the plate. 1-2 the count. Be Lance tonight, Garrett Cole tomorrow night, and then Charlie Morton, who kicked off this homestand, will wrap up this 3-game series. A little soft cue shot. Marwin flips it to Lance, and it was behind him a little bit. Everybody safe. First and third with 1 out. It was an unusual looking base hit. The ball just kind of sat there with some spin, made it tough for both fielders.
First of all, Margot got destroyed, but it was almost as if it was a push bunt in between Marwin. I think Marwin was anticipating Lance maybe making a play on it. Lance had his heart set on first base, and that's a tough flip for a first baseman. How many times have we seen soft contact between Keuchel and McCullers come back to haunt him by adding base runners?
Yeah, a little frustrating day so far for Lance. Mentioned the unearned run. McCann going out to talk to Lance after that little infield hit. That's a second mound visit for the Astros. So now 2 on, 1 out. Jose Perella, the batter. Perella singled on a ground ball through the hole on the left side and also struck out tonight. Bounces in there, picked nicely by McCann. It's 1-0.
Lance is an excitable guy. So this is the part of the game where you try and relax a little bit, show some of that poise, focus on the fingers that McCann is putting down. Envision that pitch being where he wants it.
Two 2-0.
Not a bad location on that fastball, maybe just off the edge. It's all a part of the growing up process, is being able to get in tough situations and still be able to be in command of your stuff to get out of the situation.
Lance has a very high ground ball to fly ball ratio. He could use a double play ground ball here. Instead, it's a take for ball 3. 3-0 the count. 2 runners on, 1 out. Eric Hosmer is on deck. There's a strike. Lance started this inning with a 3-pitch strikeout of Corey Spangenberg. Then on an 0-2 pitch, number 9 hitter Austin Hedges doubled to left. Infield single by Margot, and now Lance back in the count, 3-2.
Great 3-1 slider. I just wonder if the thought process might change a little bit against Lance. You don't see too many 3-0 counts from Lance, but he's going to throw the fastball in the 3-0 count to get back in the count. Why not let the guy hit? Because you know if you get to 3-1, you're going to throw the slider. Now you swing and miss, you're 3-2. Probably going to get another curveball.
He does. He sends it to right field. Pretty well hit over the head of Josh Reddick, and it's off the base of the wall. 1 run scores. Margot rounding third. The relay throw by Correa is cut off, and they have the runner hung up. Bregman makes the tag. 2 runs come in on that double by Perella. It's now a 3-1 Padres lead.
It was a good piece of hitting, and Perella might have been thinking the same thing. He let that slider travel up and away and just went with it. Nice piece of hitting. It was elevated, not down where we're normally used to seeing that curveball, a little flattened out to the hitter, but he did a good job of staying on it, barreling it up, shooting it the other way over the head of Josh Reddick, and then it's off to the races.
Here's Hosmer taking a strike. Looked like there might have been a play at the plate if that ball wasn't cut off, but I think with Margot's speed, as strong an arm as Correa has, may have still beat it.
And it's the visual. If you're the cutoff man and you see that guy kind of hanging out in no man's land, your brain tells you to get the sure out. I'm not too sure there was 100% confidence in the play at home that you're talking about with the speed of Margot going around the bases. So ball was cut by Marwin just because he knew he could get that out.
on the ground and in a perfect spot down the line for a base hit. Not a lot of high exit velocity contact in this inning, but Lance giving up some hits as Hosmer has an 0-2 base hit.
Well, you talked about the high batting average that Hosmer does have against these Astros. I feel like a lot of it is on situations like this where it's kind of an emergency hack going the other way, but a lot of ground balls. And checking out some of the numbers on Hosmer, his ground ball rate as a hitter is 56% last year. On his career, it is 54%. It just seems like a high number for a guy who hits 25 home runs.
Going against a ground ball pitcher.
Yeah.
And then you get a base hit like that.
It's amazing.
There's a base hit through the middle. Christian being away, but with another hit. So the Padres in this inning with 2 doubles and 3 singles, 5 hits total. That's 5 consecutive hits allowed by McCullers. An out was recorded during that sequence when Perella was caught between second and third after his 2 RBI double. Now Lance will face Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe is grounded out and popped up. McCullers misses outside, ball 1. Two and 0 the count. Lance started this inning with 64 pitches. He's about to make his 24th of this inning. Umpire seeing that a fan lost their beverage in center field and it landed on the warning track. So DJ Rayburn telling George Springer to clean it up a little bit.
Party foul.
That's definitely, that was a full beverage when it landed on the warning track. So he handed it off to one of the guys in the bullpen for the Padres.
If those bullpens are like any of the bullpens I've been around, there's not going to be much left in that vessel.
2-0. Lance needs to get an out here. He's down 3-1 in this game. 2 on, 2 outs. Now it's 3-0. Padres came into this inning with 2 hits. They're now up to 7. Tony Sipp warming up in the Astros bullpen. Rio swinging is Renfroe. It's now 3-1. Aswahe is due up, followed by Galvis, a switch hitter, and then Spangenberg. Lefty, switch hitter, and a lefty. The next 3 due up with Sipp warming up. Now it's 3-2.
Well, if you're Lance, you're thinking this is the pitch. This is the one that's going to get me out of this inning. This is the one that's going to get the team back in that dugout and put some bats in their hands and let them do some damage.
He got him. Called third strike. McCullers freezes Renfroe with the breaking ball for a big strikeout. 2 left on board. San Diego takes a 3-1 lead.
Carlos Correa, who's fresh after a couple of days off, trying to get that toe discomfort under control, but had a pretty impressive first 7 games of the year, hitting .474 with a couple of home runs the inside the park. Has the 3rd highest OPS by an Astro through the team's first 7 games of the season, 1469. That's all time. Pretty impressive start to the year for Carlos, who came in very motivated, talking a lot about how he's going to work on pitch selection this time around for him as he wants to improve as a hitter. Also on defense too, guys. This guy is committed to being a better player in 2018, and so far, looking at it.
Yeah, quite a start for Correa as Alex Bregman leads off and pops one up on the infield. Eric Hosmer right near the bag makes the play for out number 1. Bregman now 0 for 3. As he pops up to start the 5th. Correa's a guy that hasn't been off to hot starts in his career. Normally he picks things up in May, June, and July. He's got an OPS in his young career all 3 of those months of over 900. Last year he hit a home run opening day against the Mariners, then did not hit another home run until game 19, which was also his 2nd extra base hit of the season.
It's weird how those things work out.
Then he went on a nice little run all the way up to the All-Star break. This year he's off to a great start, tied for the league lead in RBIs, leading the league in hitting. Altuve with a count of 1-1 hits one deep but foul. It's 1-2. Altuve's been on base a couple of times, a walk and a single. You check out exit velocities a lot, probably more so than I do. Last inning when Manuel Margot hit that little squib shot to the first base side, came off his bat at 32.7. Is that as low as you've seen?
That is the lowest I have ever seen, ever heard of. That's a hit.
32.7.
12% hit probability. Traveled all of 66 feet.
With some English. Right in between Lance and.
Yeah, what was the spin rate on the? You better work on that swing to get the barrel to it. Well, I mean, there was more of a spin rate than there was an exit velocity on that.
This one towards Margot in center, and he makes the diving attempt and makes a great catch to rob Altuve. Jose hit the ball hard into center, but Margot there to rob him of a hit.
And of course, Altuve is going to hit a rocket and get robbed of it by the guy who hit the softest ball in the history of baseball. Pretty good play by Margot. Great athlete out there in center field.
Our StatCast people like his defensive ability. They have him at a +9, outs above average.
That's a good number. That's one of the better numbers you're going to see. Still not anywhere near Buxton.
See him next series. Byron Buxton is the StatCast outs above average daddy. He leads everybody in that category. Carlos Correa with an 0-1 count. Now 1-1. How will those long strides be affected when it's about 12 degrees feels like temperature? Here's a pop-up, shallow right. In comes Renfroe, out goes Asuaje. It's the right fielder who makes the call. Perdomo with a strong 1-2-3 fifth, getting Bregman, Altuve, and Correa.
Stro Zone is back this year at Minute Maid Park, and it is hopping tonight. It is packed up here. They wanted a replica trophy, but they also wanted the limited edition World Champions t-shirt, because you always get the unique limited edition shirt when you're up here. It is a special ticket. It's Friday nights, and then you have a great seat for the fireworks that happen afterwards. But we're having a good time up here.
That is definitely the place to be.
That's a cool shirt.
That's a good shirt.
Julia hanging out in the Stro Zone up there.
Another reason to go to the Stro Zone.
There you go. Never know who's going to show up. Carlos Asuaje facing a new Astros pitcher. Tony Sipp taking over for Lance. McCullers fires a strike.
Tony's been in one game this year, went an inning and 2/3, gave up a hit and an earned run, had a couple of punch outs and a couple of walks in that appearance. Fastball slider split being a big key for Tony Sipp and his success.
Lance gives up 3 runs in his 5 innings of work, 2 of them earned. 7 hits, 5 of those 7 coming in the last inning, including that little 32-mile-an-hour cue shot right in the middle of the rally by Margot. Lance walked 3 of the first 9 hitters he faced, but then did not allow a walk the rest of the way. And he struck out 6. This is into right center field. Long run, Reddick, and he is going to get there for the out. Asuaje making a bid for extra bases, and Reddick runs it down.
George and Josh were thinking about switching positions after both of them went sprinting pretty hard after this one, but hold up long enough for Josh Woo Reddick to get underneath it. Come this way.
I could use your help.
Yep.
Freddie Galvis, the batter. Galvis, switch hitter, batting right-handed against Sipp. 1-0. Galvis walked and struck out against McCullers. Way out in front, 1-1.
There's that split. Pulled the string on that one big time, dropping the velocity from 92 down to 80 miles an hour.
Tony making him look bad on that swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Is grounded past the diving Alex Bregman into the corner. Galvis into second base. There's a 1-out base runner. Another double for the Padres. So now Sipp will face Corey Spangenberg. Spangenberg has struck out a couple of times. Colin McHugh has been warming in the Astros bullpen as this inning has proceeded. 3 straight right-handers are due up after Spangenberg. Eighth hit for the Padres. So 4 for the Astros. Spangenberg shows bunt. It's 1-0.
a couple of good fastballs to get ahead of Aswahe early. First two to Spangenberg have not been in the vicinity. Good slider in a 2-0 count.
See the big crowd tonight. They're looking to get revved up. Haven't had a lot to cheer about this evening as the Padres took a 1-0 lead. Astros tied it at 1 in the third. San Diego regaining that 3-1 lead last inning. Strike called. It's 2-2. McHugh is warming in the Astros bullpen. Gordon Lyles is warming up in the Padres bullpen. Former Astro. It's Colin.
Jordan Lyles, former Double-A teammate of mine, was on a rehab assignment down in Corpus when he was coming up through the Astros organization.
Astros need a little rally tonight to avoid a home loss for Lance McCullers. We have not seen that in a while. To go back to August 2nd of 2016, last time Lance lost a game here at Minute Maid Park, undefeated last year, including the postseason. Now the count's 3-2. Line right to Altuve, tries to flip for the double play. Galvis able to get back. Spangenberg lines out for the second out of the inning. Time to play Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Who am I? Not my Padre. Award winner. Late inning drama. Let you stew on that a little bit. You can send your guesses to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Tony Sip out of the game. Colin McHugh in the game. We'll take a break here in a 3-1 game in the sixth. Padre award winner, late inning drama. You had that commercial break to send your guesses to @ATT Sportsnet SW. The two-time Astro and Padre, Jeff Blum, do you have that one?
I was actually leaning a little more towards the Chris Burke option, but Brad Ausmus fits into that mold.
Brad Ausmus, tonight's Name That Astro. Colin McHugh takes over. Runner on second base, 2 outs in a 3-1 game.
Colin working out of the bullpen. Last time we saw him was against the Baltimore Orioles, win an inning. Gave up a couple of hits and an earned run, had a punch out, only threw 16 pitches. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period I wonder if AJ, in bringing him in here, might be asking him to go multiple innings. Try and finish off this sixth.
This is the Hedges 2-0. AJ said Colin's still making the adjustments to becoming a reliever. He's getting more comfortable with the time that he is allotted to warm up, which is a lot less time than he had as a starter. AJ said the one thing he's going to have to adjust to as well is not being able to use all his pitches. You're there for shorter stints. There is a strike on the corner, 2-1.
Always curious about the velocity too of these guys who go out and are starting pitchers, maybe pace themselves a little bit throughout the game. Unlike Justin Verlander, unlike Garrett Cole, unlike Lance McCullers. You want me to keep going? Charlie Morton's in there too, but Colin McHugh is a guy that maybe picks up a couple extra miles an hour moving into that bullpen, knowing he's going to have to pitch for shorter distances. Maybe throw that slider a little bit harder. Maybe have a conversation with Brad Peacock while you're sitting down there too, talking about that slider, make it a little more effective for Colin. It's been a good pitch for him last year in 2017. See how he utilizes it coming out of that bullpen.
Back to a 2-2 count after starting out 2-0 on Hedges, and he strikes him out. McHugh comes in and picks up a strikeout to end the top half of the sixth inning. Still 3-1 San Diego.
Championship rings. We recap an historic week at Minute Maid Park. You'll get the story behind the rings and hear from Carlos Beltran. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded Fridays before pregame and re-airing all week long only on AT&T Sports Net. TK.
All right, Julia, on we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Astros knocking out the starter, Luis Perdomo, who pitched well towards the end of his outing. And it's a familiar face to Astros fans, Jordan Lyles.
Jordan Lyles, right-hander out of the bullpen for the San Diego Padres now. He is actually the last Astro pitcher to hit a home run. 3 games this season, yet to give up an earned run. Right-handed hitters, though, or left-handed hitters are 3 for 7 off him this season.
Reddick was on base twice against Perdomo, and now leads things off in the bottom half of the sixth inning. It'll be Reddick, Marwin Gonzalez, and Evan Gattis facing the 27-year-old right-hander. Lyles misses. It's 2-0.
Still has pretty good velocity in that fastball, averaging right around 94 miles an hour. A changeup, curveball, cut fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Gets a strike there on Reddick. It's 2-1. Lyles got the last out for the Padres in their game last night or yesterday afternoon against the Rockies. Third of an inning. Now it's 2-2. 3 innings on Monday. to start that series. And he gets Josh Reddick. Foul tip caught by the catcher Austin Hedges, and Reddick goes down. First out for Lyles is a strikeout. Jordan mostly used as a starter in his time with the Astros. 15 starts in 2011, 25 in 2012, and 25 again in 2013. A couple of relief appearances in 13 and 5 in 2011. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. 1-0 the count to Marwin. Hopped high in the air. Long run for the shortstop Galvis, and there's 2 away. Give back to the Houston community by joining the Astros Foundation Volunteer Corps. Take part in volunteering on game day at Minute Maid Park. Help with craft parties at local hospitals and much more. Visit astros.com/volunteer to sign up now. Two outs, nobody on. Evan Gattis, the batter. Evan was the last Astro to reach base. 8 in a row retired by Luis Perdomo and now Jordan Lyles. There's a strike to Gattis. Gattis reached on an infield single his last time up. Oh, and 2 the count. Astros have had 2 starters go into the 6th inning against them this season. Cole Hamels on opening day and Dylan Bundy in the last game on Wednesday. Today Perdomo, 5 innings, 97 pitches needed to get through 5. Andy Green will count on his bullpen for 12 outs in this 3-1 game. Average length of the start for the opponents against the Astros this year has been 4 2/3 innings.
Not bad.
Inside it's 1-2. Padres closer Brad Hand needed 31 pitches in their game yesterday. Breaking ball called, 3rd strike. Gattis goes down looking, 2 strikeouts for Lyles. And we're heading to the 7th in a 3-1 game.
$6 million. Download Beat the Streak today. Chances to win $5.6 million.
Colin McHugh in his first full inning of work after coming on for the final out of the 6th inning, now facing the top of the Padres lineup in the 7th. Astros down 3-1. They've been out hit by this San Diego team 8-4. Padres have won 1 game this year. The Astros have lost 1 game this year. And McHugh, the 3rd pitcher of the game, behind Lance McCullers Jr. and Tony Sipp, dealing with Manuel Margot. Margot takes a called strike. Margot against McCullers, 2 ground ball outs, and then that little wedge shot perfectly placed between the pitcher's mound and first base for a single. This one off the end of the bat past McHugh. Altuve has to hustle in, and he does for the first out.
Trying to set some kind of record?
So Margot retired.
Nice play by Jose Altuve. I guarantee you that ball had some pretty good spin. Bit of a cue ball off the end of the bat of Margot. Yep, spinning away from Colin, but it was nice to see Jose Altuve out of the corner of your eye. You can see the base runner, but he did a good job of kind of, you know, stutter step, get himself in a good position and get that good hop to make the play.
Jose Perella takes a strike. Perella doubled in 2 runs his last time up. He also scored the first run, crossing the plate after a pass ball, so he's been a part of all 3 of the Padres' runs. Perella takes one inside. It's 1-1.
Good pitch. Doesn't need to be a strike, just needs to serve the purpose of moving the feet of the hitter, so they don't start leaning out over the plate trying to hit the off speed.
McHugh ahead 1-2. Colin worked out of the bullpen a couple of times last year for the Astros in the postseason. ALCS Game 3, 4 innings without allowing a hit against the Yankees, and then World Series Game 5 against the Dodgers. Prior to that, he had only made starts for the Astros in the regular season. Came out of the Mets bullpen a half-dozen times back in 2012 and 13. This one into right field for a base hit right in between Jose Altuve and Marwin Gonzalez. So Perella on for the 3rd time. His 3rd hit. He's 3 for 4.
It's the 2nd time that Perella's gotten a slider away and just gone with it.
That'll bring up Eric Hosmer. Hosmer has walked and singled, and 1 for 2 officially. Perella last year stole 4 bases in 7 attempts. McHugh checks him over at first. Called strike on the breaking ball, 0-1.
It's an interesting look at Perella over at first base. The last time he got the lead with StatCast, he was off 10 feet. Here he's at 10 feet again, and if you recall, a lot of the Astros are at pretty much 12 feet every single time. I just think there could be another step taken by Perella. A guy who might be thinking about running is not taking a lead that would tell you that he's running.
McHugh ahead of the count, 0-2. Colin appearing in his 3rd game out of the bullpen this season. On the ground the other way, Bregman to Correa. Correa's throw is over the head of Marwin. and stays in play. So staying at first base will be Hosmer on the fielder's choice. They try to turn a 5-6-3 double play.
Just not easy. Even with the shift on, it's not easy. Puts Carlos Correa in a tough spot, coming from a different angle to cover second base. And at the same time, it's not easy as a third baseman to get a ground ball off a third baseman's bat, I mean off a left-handed hitter's bat coming at you that firm. That was actually a pretty good backhand pickup. Good try by Carlos to turn that.
Yeah, that had to be awkward all the way around.
It just puts it, you're coming at it from a wrong angle as a shortstop, and the throw is down. Oh no.
That pitch is up and in and hits Villanueva.
But it put Carlos in a terrible position. The reason he threw that ball and it ended up going to the netting of the Astros dugout is because he went from down to up and across his body, just let it eat. Look at that pitch coming in, and that is not a good feeling. And for all the kids at home, it's tough, especially when you get to the big leagues and guys are throwing pretty hard. But when you are all in to swing a bat and the guy throws a pitch up and in, turn your back to the baseball. Try your best to get the hands out of the way. It doesn't happen every time.
26-year-old third baseman Christian Villanueva being looked at. He has started the last 4 games for Andy Green at third base. They have Chase Headley on their bench tonight, who can come in and play third if necessary. Villanueva hit on the back of the left hand on a 91-mile-an-hour pitch that was riding in on him. Villanueva taking the elbow guard off, wants to stay in this game, and he will.
Yeah, sometimes the initial sting of getting hit on that wrist can scare you a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be as bad as it felt initially.
He had 3 home runs in their game Tuesday.
Yeah, he's got some pop in that lineup. 4 home runs last year for Villanueva and 32 at bats.
So now McHugh trying to keep this a 2-run game. 2 outs, 2 on. Hosmer at second, Villanueva at first. Hunter Renfroe the batter. Renfroe takes a strike. Renfroe was the last batter Lance McCullers Jr. faced, and struck him out for his 7th strikeout of the night, 5 innings of work. Renfroe's also grounded out and popped up. One and 1 the count.
In the very few times we have seen Colin lose command of the strike zone, it has usually been on that arm side, and unfortunately that arm side, when it gets away, is into right-handed hitters.
Back to the screen, it's 1-2. Hugh has thrown 13 strikes of his 18 pitches since coming in out of the bullpen. Astros trying to get to the 7th inning stretch in this 3-1 game and see if they can get their offense going. Swing and a miss. McHugh with a strikeout on the curveball. Gets Renfroe for the final out of the 7th. 2 men left on base. It's still 3-1 Padres. positive. They haven't had a lot to cheer about lately.
Yeah, but the bullpen is in, and the Astros offense is coming to the plate. 7th inning or later, they like to put numbers up big late. And again, the bullpen, Colin McHugh coming out of there, keeping this game tight enough to allow them the opportunity to put some runs together. But we have not seen that big hit to push some runs across.
We'll see if they can get going against Jordan Lyles in his 2nd inning of work, facing Brian McCann, Derek Fisher, George Springer. Astros only have 1 hit since the 3rd, and that was that infield leadoff hit by Evan Gattis in the 4th inning. Since then, 9 straight sent down. McCann has flied out and lined out to right. 15 of the 41 runs this year for the Astros have come in their last 3 innings. And again, Brad Hand, the closer for this Padres team, threw 31 pitches and had some trouble with command in last night's game as they wrapped up their series with the Rockies. See if McCann can get things going. McCann lined out to right field his last time up. Thinking about a bunt with the shift on, and bunts it foul.
I like the idea. Freddie Galvis playing back, and the shift was on. He's playing a pull side shortstop positions, leaving a humongous hole on this side. I would just rather see earlier in the count, maybe for a bunt for a strike, as opposed to a bunt to get down 2 strikes.
Lyles striking out 2 in his 1 inning of work so far. Strikeout, pop up, and strikeout. Now down low to McCann is 2-2. Jordan Lyles drafted by the Astros in this supplemental round, 38th overall in the 2008 draft. That supplemental pick was due to the Astros losing the lefty reliever Trevor Miller. You guys were teammates in 2010 when he made 20 starts for Corpus Christi.
Yep. Good kid. He had good command down there. That cut fastball is a pretty good pitch for him. Still developing the changeup and the curveball.
Ended up being moved to the Rockies in a trade in the offseason. Heading into the 2014 year. Brandon Barnes and Jared Lyles for Dexter Fowler. Jordan Lyles, rather, for Dexter Fowler. Swing and a miss. McCann loses the bat as he goes down. 3 strikeouts for Lyles with the first 4 batters he has faced. The Shiner box spotlight falls on the combination of Derek Fisher at second and Alex Bregman at the plate.
Should be familiar. Game 5, the roller coaster ride that was ended with Fisher on second and scoring that game-winning run. Here steals second base, and again, Alex Bregman pushing across a game-winning run that looks a lot like Derek Fisher again. A little more casual this time around.
Slightly less at stake.
Yeah.
And not the same Correa reaction. 1-0 the count. 10 in a row sent down by the combination of Perdomo and Lyles. Astros didn't have a ton of offense in that last game against Baltimore. Dylan Bundy went 6 innings, pitched well. They had just enough in that 3-2 victory. Tonight, just 1 run scored as they bat in the 7th. Astros coming in, leading the American League in runs scored. Lyles pours a strike in there. It's 1-2. Runs through 7 games for the Astros before tonight, leading the AL in batting average and on base percentage. Another strikeout. Lyles has struck out 4 of the 5 batters he has faced, and there's 2 outs in the 7th. So now the top of the order, George Springer. 96 misses. It's 1-0.
Last time George got on base, the Astros scored. Needs to be the igniter here with 2 outs.
1-1 the count. Lyles has never pitched against his former team before tonight. You talk about revenge ABs.
Yeah.
Be a revenge relief appearance. He has now faced 29 of the 30 teams in Major League Baseball. Lyles has never pitched against Cleveland. Up and in. Springer hits the deck.
Thank goodness George is a good enough athlete to get the heck out of the way. There's a 1-1 fastball up underneath the chin of George. Tell you what, don't wake the sleeping monster. I don't believe there's intent. Jordan Lyles. Wow.
Right back at Lyles on that soft line drive. Frustrates Springer. And the Astros have been sent down in the 7th.
Shutout innings against the Baltimore Orioles to finish off the Orioles as the Astros go on to sweep that series. Would have qualified for the save, but he pitched well enough to qualify for the win. Great outing by Brad Peacock leading into that day off yesterday, saving that Astros bullpen.
Alex Bregman, a long run into foul territory, makes the play on the pop-up off the bat of Carlos Asuaje. And that's the first out of the 8th inning. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Colin McHugh. McHugh came on with 2 outs in the 6th inning, struck out Austin Hedges, the catcher. Then got through the 7th, picked up his 2nd strikeout, and now 1 out in the 8th. No action in the Astros bullpen, so this is Colin McHugh's inning. Freddie Galvis, the batter. There is action in the Padres bullpen. The right-hander Kirby Yates is warming up. Astros might not be too upset about having Jordan Lyles leave the game. He's been pretty tough on them.
I agree with you.
Lyles, a former Astro, with 2 perfect innings and 4 strikeouts so far. Galvis with a count of 1-1. Galvis batted right-handed last time up against the lefty Tony Sippen. Doubled on a ground ball down the line. Against McCullers, batting left-handed, he had walked and struck out. 2-1 the count. Breaking ball got in on him. It's 2-2. Colin so far has allowed the one hit. He hit a batter and he struck out 2. Other way, base hit for Galvis. Padres up to 10 hits in this game. And he is a 1-out base runner in the 8th. Astros mini plans are on sale now. Pick the games and seats that work best for you with a 15-game flex plan, or get the best giveaways with a 10-game bobblehead plan. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/mini plans to get yours today. Here's Corey Spangenberg DHing tonight. Spangenberg struck out a couple of times and lined out to Altuve. Called strike on the curve.
Can you name? So Spangenberg was a 10th overall pick in 2010. Can you name the pick after him?
Probably playing in this game.
Yep.
Probably playing in center field.
You are correct.
George Springer.
The 11th pick overall in the 2010 draft. George Springer. Just ahead of him was Corey Spangenberg.
Now I have to go look up the rest of them. I always like looking back on drafts. 2010 draft?
Yes.
Spangenberg DHing today. He can play infield or outfield. He's kind of the Padres version of Marwin Gonzalez in that he can play a lot of different positions. Swings through that one. It's 0-2. Delano to Shields was, oh no, that was a different year. Looking at the different draft here. I'm going to say Delano to Shields was right before those guys, but. One and two the count to Spangenberg. Runner on first base, Galvis. Stole 14 bases last year. He stays, and the pitch is a breaking ball. It's fouled back.
Baseball Reference is messing with me these days.
Why is that? Swing and a miss. Spangenberg goes down swinging. That's the third strikeout for McHugh and 2 outs in the 8th. What's Baseball Reference doing to you?
Because I click on 2010 first rounders and it shows me the 2011.
That's what just happened to me.
So I don't know. And it has all the right picks. Garrett Cole was the #1 pick that year.
So 11 draft.
Is it?
Dylan Bundy, who we saw here in Wednesday's game, was
Baseball Prospectus also had it as the 2010 draft. Don't believe everything on the internet, kids.
Fouled back to Austin Hedges. 0-1.
I think it is the 11.
Springer was drafted in the 11 draft right after Corey Spangenberg. We saw
that part's right.
We saw Dylan Bundy, who was a 4th overall pick that year, pitching the game Wednesday for the Orioles. Garrett Cole will pitch here tomorrow, the #1 overall pick in that draft. There's a called strike. 0-2 the count. Hedges came in 1 for 18, but he walked and doubled his first 2 times up, and then a strikeout picked him in the 6th. One and 2 the count. Looking ahead to the bottom half of the 8th inning for the Astros, they will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, and Carlos Correa. Kirby Yates continues to warm up in the Padres bullpen. He has been their setup guy for Brad Hand. We'll see if Hand is available tonight after throwing 31 pitches yesterday. In the dirt, 2 and 2. Now the count is full, which means Galvis with 2 outs will get a head start. McHugh trying to get through the 8th. Called 3rd strike. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. Colin picks up his 4th strikeout. And we head to the bottom of the 8th. Bregman, Altuve, Correa.
What was your favorite Astros reaction from the 2017 playoffs? Carlos Correa and his reaction to the World Series Game 5 walk-off. 57%. So, show it again. He did say he blacked out. He doesn't remember doing any of that.
He totally took Altuve's role, which is to tell the runner whether to stand or slide.
Oh, man, he was doing it all.
Well, let's hope we have a fun moment tonight to end this one as the Astros are down 3-1 heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. They have the right part of the order due up, Bregman, Altuve, Correa. And they are facing a new pitcher, the right-hander Kirby Yates.
Kirby Yates has got a pretty good upside. Great arm also. You may know where he's from, TK.
He's a Hawaiian-born pitcher from Kauai.
There you go. Good fastball, slider, a changeup. Tale of two halves for him last year. First half a 2.48 ERA. Second half jumped to a 5.06.
Starts out a called strike on Bregman, 0-1.
He's a high strikeout guy. 14 strikeouts per 9 last year.
Start of the year.
That was a career year for him. Best ERA, K rate.
Started the year with the Angels and was in their minor league system at Salt Lake and ended up being called up and pitched in one game. And then after one game at the big league level, they designated him. Padres picked him up 3 days later. It was the best thing that ever happened to him. As you said, he had a really good year for them. 87 strikeouts in 55 2/3 innings. Fastball, slider, changeup. Says he's throwing the changeup a little more than he did earlier in his career. Not afraid to throw it to righties. Ken Giles is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Bregman looking for his first hit, a couple of strikeouts and a pop-up. Astros have not had a lot of base runners since the 3rd inning. Evan Gattis, the only one to reach base since then, with a leadoff infield hit in the 4th. 12 straight sent down by Luis Perdomo and Jordan Lyles. Lyles was outstanding in his 2 innings of work. Bregman softly into center field. On comes Margot, and he makes the play. That's out number 1. I'll bring up Jose Altuve. Altuve robbed of a base hit his last time up on a nice play in center field by Margot. He's also walked and singled. Fastball inside. Altuve currently at 419 with his 1 for 2 today. Correa's at 429. One to win the count. Yates, a big surfer. Something you guys have in common.
Signed with the right team in San Diego. There's some good breaks down there. A little too advanced for me.
Surfing?
No, the breaks that he'd be surfing at in San Diego. Big night tonight. You've been raving about the crowd all night. TK, 41,138 fans have shown up for the Astros Zone. Big and bright Friday night. The replica trophy giveaway. Sellout number 2.
See if they can get something going here. Make these fans get revved up here in the 8th inning. It's been some solid pitching by the Padres. Only 4 hits all day for this Houston Astros team. Run scoring on a sacrifice fly by Carlos Correa in the 3rd. Altuve has a single. Reddick has a single. Gattis has an infield hit, and George Springer has the 4th hit. Altuve hanging in there 2-2. Yates pitching for his 4th major league team. Started his career with Tampa Bay, moved to the Yankees. A brief appearance with the Angels, and now a Padre. He's staying on that inner half against Altuve. Call 3rd strike. Dots the outside corner. Nice pitch. 2nd out of the inning.
Trying to get something going here. We're going to look at some good swings from Carlos Correa on our Mattress Firm Supermo in that postseason. Pitch up and away, out over the plate. Able to let it travel and drive it out the other way. Such a good swing. And he's commented several times in talking with him that he loves hitting that ball the other way. Feels a lot of his power is to that opposite field. Good fastball away, and here on the Mattress Firm Supermo, they tried to bust him up and in, and guess what? Pull the hands in, get the barrel out a little bit earlier, crank one over the wall in Game 5 of the World Series.
That one was up in the air a long time.
Wow.
Way in there in the kitchen. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that might have been in between the hands. The Astro hitters have looked uncomfortable for me pretty much all night long, either guessing or missing on location. I haven't seen anybody really stand up on one and drive it.
That second pitch was right in on the knuckles. Fouled one just past Josh Reddick in the on-deck circle. And Yates gets Correa. 2 strikeouts in the inning. The Padres have now retired 15 in a row. We head to the 9th in a 3-1 game.
Astros organization. It's been a special couple of days. Ring ceremony for all the employees except for Blummer. Oh, just kidding. He gets his own ring ceremony today. How did that happen? And he gets to be on the broadcast presented with his 2017 World Series championship ring. We still need to get our photo, team photo. Congratulations, Blummer. Welcome to the party.
Thank you very much, and it's good to be a part of it. And I'm in agreement with a lot of other people out there. It would have been a lot of fun for us to call those postseason games.
Oh, my goodness.
Just saying.
I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, we would not have had voices by this 3rd game of the World Series, I think.
Manuel Margot facing Ken Giles, and he grounds the first pitch Giles offers to Jose Altuve, and there's one away.
Ken Giles in, not in a normal situation for him, but A.J. Hinch asking him to keep this game right here. See that 4.5 ERA, not exactly where he wants it. Again, for me, it's fastball command and having that slider breaking the way he wants to make him highly effective.
Facing Jose Perella, who has 3 hits tonight. 3 of the 10 for the Padres. Perella came over from the Yankees in a trade in the 2015 offseason. Last year, 288 with 10 home runs for San Diego. Padres are hoping that they are building their hopes around a couple of core figures here. Eric Hosmer obviously will be around for 8 years. Will Myers has been a steady presence in their lineup. Saw Margot as a leadoff hitter. He's got a nice future ahead of him. They have some talent coming up the system. 2 pitch to Perella, tries to hold up, and he does. It's 1-2. They're hoping they have some similar success as the Astros. Saw the Cubs after some tough years. They're kind of on that, in that cusp area now where they're building up.
Yeah, their arc should be shaping a little more up, having some good talent in the minor leagues. Just a matter of developing them, preparing them, challenging them down there in the minor leagues so that when they get here to the big leagues, they produce.
No chase there from Perella. It's 2-2.
And it sounds good in theory to go out and do what the Astros did. They drafted well, they made some good trades, but at the same time, you have to give a lot of credit to that front office for the guys that they did draft.
Absolutely.
It is amazing how they drafted so well and then turned around and developed talent into very good baseball talent. League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Check out the San Diego farm system and where it's ranked per MLB.com. They are number 1. 7 of the top 100 prospects in the organization of San Diego. I just don't think you can look at what the Astros did and say, yeah, we're going to go out and do that.
On the ground is short. Correa makes the play. Oh yeah, it's easier in theory than it is in application.
Yeah.
Because everybody would do the same thing, and not everybody can win a World Series.
Piece of cake, right? Game's easy.
And it was like, well, you pick early in the draft every year. Lance McCullers was around. Other teams could have picked up Lance.
Spangenberger. He was the option in 2011. Thankfully.
2 outs, nobody on. Eric Hosmer, the batter.
It was actually an Ed Wade draft.
It's a line drive over Giles' head past Correa into center field. Springer cuts it off. Hosmer's going for 2, and he is going to get in there with a head first slide. He saw where that outfield was positioned. Good hustle by Eric Hosmer with his 2-out double.
Yeah, that's a predetermined situation that Eric Hosmer recognizing where the defense is playing and says, that's basically a gap shot right back up the middle with the shift in the outfield. 2-run lead, take a chance with 2 outs and put yourself in scoring position. Pretty good play, heads up play.
That'll bring up Christian Villanueva. Good to see him stay in the game. He was hit by a pitch on the left hand last time he was up. Villanueva came into this game with 3 hits on the season. All of them were home runs. Singled in the 5th. Struck out a couple of times against McCullers. When I said Lance was available, he was a supplemental pick, so he was available to any of the other teams. When you have one of the top picks and you get a guy like Correa, obviously nobody else has a shot at him.
There was a lot of criticism around taking Correa number 1. They felt the guy we're going to see in a couple days was the better pick that year.
Called strike 0-2.
Buxton up in center field for the Minnesota Twins.
Who has really started to come along.
Yes, it's good to see him develop because when he first got called up, I had some serious questions about the swing, but he's made some great adjustments now, putting the ball in play, and it's benefiting him.
Giles trying to get through the top of the 9th. Villanueva stays alive. Astros top 10 as we speak. I'm going to say Tucker may have jumped into the #1 spot since the season started.
Just saying.
Based on his spring.
Yeah, he was amazing. What's crazy is you don't see Armenteros on there, Frankie Tuesday. Those are still guys that showed in spring training. And Frankie Tuesday last year showed that he has the stuff to pitch up here.
Ball's hooked down the left field line. It's a fair ball heading towards the corner. Villanueva drives in Hosmer. And it's now a 4-1 Padres lead as San Diego gets an insurance run on Villanueva's 6th RBI of the year. He leads the team in that category.
Apparently the hand is okay on Villanueva after getting hit his previous at bat. He takes a slider here, a 2-strike count. Again, just staying right over the heart of the plate. Good recognition and staying through that baseball and keeping it fair down the third base line.
We always pump up the Astros for good base running. Hosmer's hustle double.
Yep.
Allowed them to score that extra run. Not sure if he scores from first on that ball. Here's Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe takes a pitch outside for a ball. 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts. Astros down 3 now, and the Padres out hitting them tonight 12-4. One on the count. Astros have Josh Reddick, Marwin Gonzalez, and Evan Gattis due up in the 9th inning. Ball is hooked and deep down the left field line, and it is just foul. Renfroe did not miss a home run by much.
Ball was hit well. Slider is backing up on Ken Giles and catching a lot of the plate, a lot of the heart of the plate.
A.J. Hinch scouted him a lot. 13th overall pick in 2013. Diving stop Altuve from his knees. The throw not in time. To third goes Villanueva. Altuve saving a run potentially with a diving stop, but unable to get the out.
Great play. Completely right. Saving a run. Jumped off the mound a little bit with that hop. Trying to throw back across the body. Hedges for a catcher actually runs pretty well. Almost looked like Marwin committed to the throw before he committed to the bag. Would have been a miraculous play either way.
So now 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. Carlos Asuaje is the batter. Asuaje hits one sharply. Flagged down by Altuve for the final out of the inning. Keeps this a 4-1 game. The Astros need 3 to tie. We head to the bottom half of the 9th. start at home, his debut in 2018 at home. He was really outstanding in his first start against the Rangers.
No, he was extremely good. We saw him punch out 11 Rangers. We saw good spin. We saw some good changeups. We also saw good velocity, and the ability to locate 3 of his best pitches was a lot of fun to watch. I also thought it was a lot of fun to watch the fact that Garrett Cole went out there, gave up a home run in the first inning to Joey Gallo, and then the Astros offense bounced back, put some big runs on the board, and he still pitched aggressively and racked up those 11 punch-outs. He had 7 strikeouts in the last 3 innings of that appearance against the Texas Rangers.
He's matched up with Brian Mitchell tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 5:30 with our pregame show. And then Sunday afternoon, Charlie Morton against Tyson Ross. Pregame show starts at 12:30. Astros and Padres in this interleague series. Astros now facing the closer for the Padres, the left-hander Brad Hand.
Hand throws firm. Works extremely slow. He's appeared in 4 games so far this season. See the ERA elevated at 4.5, the whip at 2. It is not the strikeout to walk ratio you want to see. He's also given up a home run.
Had trouble locating yesterday. They're going to say Reddick went around on that slider. It's 0-2. Only recorded 2 outs in yesterday's game and 31 pitches, missed with 15 of the 31 and walking 3. But he's ahead of Reddick, 0-2. Astros need some base runners. They haven't had a base runner since Evan Gattis led off the 4th with an infield hit. 15 in a row sent down by the Padres staff. Jim Wolf at third base saying no swing. Reddick owns 1 of the 4 Astros hits. He's singled in the 2nd. He's also walked. Pregame for 5, Jordan Lyles for 2, Kirby Yates for 1. Now Brad Hand in the 9th. And he gets Reddick. That's 7 strikeouts for Padres relievers, 1 out in the 9th. Starter Perdomo struck out 4. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. And doesn't throw that slider as much to right-hand hitters. Throws it quite often, more than he does the fastball to lefties, but starts Marwin off with a fastball away for ball 1. Back when they were the Florida Marlins in 2011, Brad Hand picked up his first major league win against the Astros. Went 7 innings, allowed just 2 hits and 3 walks in a 5-0 victory. Eventually he would move from a starter to a reliever with the Marlins, and last 2 years in San Diego, 82 games and 72 games out of the Padres bullpen. Last year, 21 saves. This is the first Astros game this year with a save opportunity for either side. Astros won the last game by just a run, but the same pitcher who got the win was still in there when it finished. Brad Peacock. watching the Padres bullpen with 7 strikeouts tonight. Even the 3 balls that have been put in play, none have been hit hard. Pop up by Marwin, a soft line drive by Springer, and a fly out to center field by Bregman. Lyles, Yates, and now Hand have done a nice job shutting down this Astros offense. Marwin hanging in there, 2-2.
Sliders in, fastballs away. There's the heater in.
Now the count runs full. Again, if you just joined us, Hand very active yesterday and didn't always find that strike zone. If you can get a runner on with a walk, all of a sudden that might creep up in his head. He threw 31 pitches yesterday. Marwin calls time. Just needs some base runners. This crowd get into the game a little bit. Slider inside. Good take by Marwin. And the Astros have a base runner. First one since the first batter of the 4th inning.
Wow.
Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Whataburger. The perfectly spicy Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich is back. Evan Gattis bats. He has faced Hand 5 times in his career and is 0 for 5.
Be a good time for him to get on the board.
To right field. That's the second out.
Hit hard, just right at him.
Max Stassi will come on as a pinch hitter for Brian McCann. Jake Marisnick has grabbed the bat and is on deck if Stassi keeps this inning alive. Stassi fouls the first pitch out of play. Max having a good start to the season. Has 5 hits in 11 at bats, batting .455. Astros just need one more to reach base to have the tying run to the plate. Jake already has 2 home runs this year. There's a lot of movement on that slider, 0-2.
Pinch hitting is not an easy job.
Astros down to their final strike, down by 3. And the game's over. The Padres come into Houston having won just 1 game all year, and they pick up a 4-1 victory. The Astros on the other end losing for just the 2nd time this year. The Astros are now 6-2. San Diego wins by the final score of 4-1. We'll have more, including the post-game show, right around the corner.